Good afternoon, Red Deer, and thank you all for joining us on today's update, particularly given that it's such a beautiful day outside. Red Deer City's Emergency Advisory Committee has met, and this week on June 14th, the City of Red Deer's state of local emergency will lapse. A decision has been made not to formally renew the state of local emergency, but this does not mean that the risks associated with the COVID-19 pandemic have necessarily ended. And our emergency operations will now shift into a recovery response. So our staff will continue to work on pandemic recovery. Please note that public health orders, as noted by the provincial government, are still in place. Measures such as physical distancing are still in place and likely will continue to be for a considerable amount of time. We must continue to follow these orders to keep residents of Red Deer and Central Alberta safe and healthy. Throughout the pandemic, there have been essentially three components to the City of Red Deer's pandemic response. First and foremost was virus mitigation, or preventing the spread of COVID-19 in our community. Secondly, we engaged in financial relief measures, recognizing that the pandemic was an unprecedented and continues to be unprecedented challenges for households and businesses. And finally, to focus on economic and our community recovery. And the economic and community recovery is really the phase that we are now at this phase of the pandemic. On behalf of City Council and myself and all our staff at the City of Red Deer, I want to again express our sincere gratitude to Red Deerians and Central Albertans for all that you've done to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in our community. Throughout the pandemic, COVID-19 cases remain low in Red Deer and region, and this really is a result of our collective vigilance in this unprecedented situation. And I would like to particularly commend our regional partners, to the 40 mayors who participated in our regional caucus, and for all your efforts in the Central Zone as well. I know that the most pressing question that citizens have, because you'll no doubt have heard that yesterday the Alberta government announced that phase 2 of the Alberta relaunch strategy will begin as of Friday this week. And so I know that the number one question that citizens have is, as of Friday, will things get back to normal as we once knew it? And so the objective will be to open city facilities and amenities as soon as operationally possible. But the city will still need to follow a number of very specific health measures and protocols that the provincial government has stipulated. So these openings will be a phased series of reopenings in the coming days and weeks. And so with that, I'd like to invite forward our City Manager, Alan Seabrook, to provide us with a detailed update on this. We will give you answers and announce openings as soon as we're able to do that. But I'll turn that over right now to City Manager Seabrook, and I look forward to your Facebook Live questions. Thank you.
So good afternoon, Red Deerians, and thank you for joining us today as we share some updates regarding our response to the COVID-19 pandemic. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk to you about the reopening of our recreation amenities, which is following the announcement yesterday from the provincial government. As you've most likely heard, the province announced yesterday that they are moving forward with stage 2 of the Alberta relaunch strategy this Friday, June 12th. It's a week sooner than previously announced. At the same time, however, a number of amenities and services that were originally planned for stage 3 have also been moved to stage 2. These include our recreation centers, our arenas and swimming pools, as well as team sports and some of the larger outdoor and indoor gatherings. Although we're excited to welcome back citizens to our facilities, we will not be ready to open on Friday. There's significant work to be done to ensure our facilities can open and we can resume programs and services, but also ensure the health and safety of both our citizens and our staff. Over the last number of weeks and months, we've been working diligently to develop plans when our facilities could reopen. However, this work has been difficult with information changing frequently. Following yesterday's announcements, we are reviewing, analyzing, and updating these plans so they align with the new guidelines and the restrictions. The opening of amenities is a complex task. These buildings have now been closed for just over 11 weeks, and we will need preparation in order to open. First and foremost, we need to understand how we will adhere to the operating and new use guidelines that have been set out by the province. For example, there are capacity limits to consider, as well as limitations on specific activities. We also need to recall our staff and ensure that they are trained on the new health and safety policies and procedures. Another big task is getting the buildings ready. They need to be assessed, cleaned, inspected, and prepared. Of course, ice needs to be put in, and the pool needs to be filled with water. We expect the opening of amenities will be phased in as we adjust to the new guidelines and recommendations from Alberta's Chief Medical Officer of Health. Some amenities may be brought back online more quickly than others. For example, arenas and pools may take a minimum of 3 weeks, while others, like our gyms, could happen sooner. Some amenity openings may not even be feasible given current provincial restrictions. In addition to the facilities themselves, we also know that families are anxious to learn about our summer day camps. Today I can share with you that we are in the planning stages of offering some modified summer day camps for children aged 6 to 12. We're hard at work ensuring that we can implement these camps at the best of our ability to provide Red Deering's children with fun summer opportunities. More information will be available on this in the coming days. We know that citizens are eager to return to our amenities, and we are also excited to welcome you back. We just need time to ensure what amenities we can actually open, and when we do open, that the amenities are safe and that they adhere to all the new regulations. While we don't yet have all the answers, we will share those information and updates as timelines are confirmed. I want to thank all Red Deerians for your patience during these times as we've navigated through this health crisis. We know it hasn't been easy, but collectively we've made sacrifices that have made a true difference for Red Deer. We can't wait to welcome you back just as soon as we can. Thank you very much for joining us.
Our first question for you, Alan, is when will City Hall be opened?
Thanks for that question. With the City Hall reopening, we are looking at City Hall to be treated like any of our recreation facilities. There are specific guidelines for health and safety that have to be followed, social distancing. So we have to have all those things in place so that we can ensure City Hall can be open safely and that we are ready for any of our residents that need to come to City Hall to conduct their business in a safe way. So we will have some more information in the upcoming weeks on when that opening will be able to happen.
And Mayor wants to add some comments to that? Nope. Sorry, my bad. Next question, are pools opening for public and lane swimming?
So thank you for that question. It's an excellent question, and I know that the province has been providing some specific guidelines for lane swimming as well as public swims and what all of those requirements are. And of course, there's also restrictions on the number of individuals that we are permitted to have, not only in our facility, but actually in a pool at the same time. So we have our staff currently looking at those provincial guidelines, and we'll have some specific advice and some specific observations to you on exactly what that looks like in the coming days.
Our next question is in regards to athletic parks like Edgar Industrial Park. Do we know if those will be opened as well?
The athletic parks that predominantly are used by our major organizations for baseball and soccer, we're currently in conversations with those organizations. We know that they can be permitted to be used for some types of specific activities and some practicing. However, some of the requirements for those organizations has to be dealt with appropriately by their provincial sport bodies that govern those organizations. So we are working cooperatively with our organizations, and they in turn are working with their provincial organizations, because one of the factors for our organizations to continue is having appropriate insurance in place for all of the athletes to compete. So that has to be put in place so those organizations can function. So as soon as those organizations determine exactly at what level they're going to operate, we will be ready to open those up and welcome those organizations back under the current guidelines. I know there's also questions about some of our regular splash pads and Discovery Canyon, and we've been advised that those will be in stage 3 at this point in time. Discovery Canyon, we are in conversation with the province at this point as to where that falls in the spectrum, because it is a bit of a unique opportunity for our residents, as we all know. So we're not exactly certain where those guidelines fall in terms of being an outdoor activity, but of course there's very close proximity, and we know that the numbers of individuals that would arrive there would be far greater than the current numbers that are permitted. So we are in conversation with the province on that, so we know exactly what advice we'll be able to provide to our residents and when we will be able to open those amenities as well.
Thank you. That's it for questions, and we don't have any from media. I'm going to invite Mayor Beer back up to the podium for closing.
Thank you so much. So in closing, again, thank you, Red Deer. The key points of fact are the province, according to the provincial government's relaunch plan, enters phase 2 on Friday. The City of Red Deer's state of local emergency expires on Sunday. Public health measures and protocols regarding measures such as physical distancing remain in effect. And the City of Red Deer's position on opening our facilities and amenities is that we will do so as soon as operationally possible. It will be phased. It's the priority right now to relaunch our community, relaunch our local economy. It will be phased, and you can always go to reddeer.ca because information will be changing daily, and we will announce the relaunch of every city facility and amenity as we engage in those processes over the coming days and weeks. So thank you very much, Red Deer, and we'll be in touch.